Hello everyone. So our next point is the seven C's of communication. Uh, Effective business communication can be written by keeping the seven C's of communication in mind. They are: first one is a clarity and conciseness. To achieve clarity and conciseness, there are four simple rules. Use short sentences, use short words instead of long ones, use familiar words instead of unfamiliar ones, use concrete nouns instead of abstract nouns. Your message should be marked by clarity of thoughts and expression, and by concise, accurate composition. It must not be contain long, involved sentences. Clarity, of course, comes of clear mind. Any message needs to come out clarity from your communication rather than the recipient having the assume things and coming back to you for more information. This will only lead to more time being wasted on emails. Do not try to communicate too many things in one message. This will dilute the attention of the reader. For example, I ask you for help for I ask you for help to manage a college event. So there is no clarity what kind of event and what should you to be considered for help. Okay, so there must be a clarity in the sentence. Then another point is conciseness. Conciseness is like people more offer than not tend to write sentences in a place where they could have finished the message in two sentences. This is wasted the time of the sender and receiver, and in turn limits their productivity too. Your message need to be accurate and to the point and crisp. For example, let's see bad one. I think we need to talk about the CSR campaign. I mean the one which we need to do as a quarterly exercise. Okay, this is a bad example. And what is good example? I need to discuss the quarterly CSR campaign with you. Okay, so concisely I have framed two points in one sentence. Okay, then next is correctness. In a well constructed message there must be correctness of language or language and correctness of information. There can be no place for guesswork or inaccurate statements. When in doubt, the best thing to do is to inquire. The successful businessman errs this side of understatement rather than overstatement. From a grammatical point of view, correctness will imply correct usage, correct spellings, and correct punctuations. The message should also be formally correct in the sense that people should be properly addressed according to their status and designation. Additionally, you need to ensure that the reader has sufficient knowledge and education to understand the technical terms that you use in your communication. So, let's see one example. Further to our conservation today, I am attaching the plan for the first stage of the project. So there is a spelling mistake. Further to our conversation is correct. Instead of conversation, message is word is used conservation. Okay, so it should be corrected. Then courtesy. A courtesy tone will naturally come into the business message. Just as the sender would not like to receive a rude or discour, uh, discourages messages, Similarly, should not send one himself. Courtesy is therefore a matter of frame of mind rather than the use of polite or oily phrases. So, using of words like please, thank you will be preferable. So, let's see our example. When you send message to teachers for asking notes or lecture links, so messages are like send me notes or send me link. Is this contagious? No. So message should be please share notes or please send link for tomorrow's lectures. Okay. So there is a courtesy shown in this please and thank you words. Then another one is consideration. Consideration means that you prepare every message by considering the recipient in mind. You should try to visualize your receiver's desires, problems, circumstances, probable reactions to your request, thereby handling the matter from his point of view. Like, you know your audience, their age group, their attitude, their desires, and accordingly convey your messages to them. Then next one is a completeness. In order to achieve conciseness, you should not compromise on completeness. An incomplete message cannot meet its objective and purposes, as it can never get the receiver's attention due to uh, paucity of information. Completeness offers many benefits, like complete messages are likely to bring the desired results. They build goodwill as they show concern for the receiver, can help uh, over costly lawsuit that may result if the information is missing. So let's see one example for completeness. We'll have lecture on tomorrow. Please be there on time. So I didn't mention at what time. So message should be complete. We'll have lecture on tomorrow at 11 a.m. Please be there on time. Okay. This is the complete sentence. Then coherence. A good message must be coherent. This means that every sentence must be related to previous one. Coherence always helps the receiver to understand your point of view. So information must be interlinked, not irrelevant. So next point is about the communication revolution. Communication is as old as man himself. These stages by which man become a language speaking from a sign making animal and later a writing human being have been painful and slow. Even after man began to write, there seem to have been no appreciable progress for thousands of years till Gutenberg invented his device for using movable types in printing. Um, so let's consider the communication cycle or communication revolution. We know about ancient times. So from ancient time, communication system runs with the help of sketches, drawings, then sign. The human develop oral communication and then written form of communication. Afterwards, they started communicating with each other with the help of sending person or bird or for long distance messages. Then communication system developed with telegram and postal messages. Then as we all know, Graham Bell invented telephone, and we started communicating with each other with trunk calls or landline phones, etc. Then mobile gets invented, wireless communication system, and on the other hand side, internet revolution for communication, electronic medium gets involved in communication system, and now we can see satellite communication system, and all we can see the progress of communication in satellite communication system and other ways too. So the next point is importance of communication in business. So far we have been discussing communication in general terms as it is implied to all walks of life. Now it is time to narrow down the discussion so that we can deal with the subject matter of this book, communication, business communication. So first one is exchanging information. Communication is mainly the exchanging of information between two or more parties. Through communication, organization exchange information with internal and external parties. Communication also brings uh, dynamism in organizational activities and helps in attaining goals. So we have seen the definition of communication. So exchanging and sharing knowledge, ideas, thoughts, that is the main purpose of communication. So importance of communication, exchanging of information. Then another one is and on other hand side we have considering for communication in business. So exchanging of information in internal and external parties like employees, then your stakeholders, shareholders, suppliers, etc. Then preparing plans and policies. Communication helps in preparing organizational plans and policies. Realistic plans and policies require adequate and relevant information. The managers collect required information from reliable sources through communication. uh, we communicate or discuss about plans and policies of the organization, and there must be collected of data and sharing of information, then suggestions. This is the another importance of communication. And another one is execution of plans and policies. For timely implementation of plans and policies, managers must disseminate those in the whole organization. In order to disseminate the plans and policies to the internal and external parties, managers rely on communication. So we have see the preparing of plan and policies point. After that, execution and of plans and policies. After making or setting plans and policies, it should require to convey the team players or for external parties. This is the policy of our organization, or for employees, this is the policy, or these are the rules and regulations of this organization, etc. That is the execution. Then increasing employees efficiency. Communication also helps in increasing the efficiency of employees. With the help of communication, organizational objectives, plans, policies, rules, uh, directives, um, and other complex matters explained to the employees that broaden their knowledge and thus help them to be efficient. So, how communication increases the efficiency of employees? When employees join the organization, they get trained under the human resource department, and gets their uh, plans and policies of the organization, organizational objectives, the induction program. So they get clarity about their work and about the organization. What kind of organization is this, and what are the ethics and principles of the organization, and accordingly employee gets adjusted to best fit in the organization, and hence their efficiency level gets increased. Then achieving goals. Effective communication helps the employees at all levels to be concise and attentive. It ensures timely accomplishment of jobs and easy achievement of goals. When we discuss in team, uh, uh, this project should be completed within the time and all. We discuss plans, then their timely feedback for ongoing projects and etc. And afterwards we achieve the goals. This is the communication as well. Then solving problems. Through various communication channels, the managers are to be can be informed of various routine and non-time problems of the organization, and accordingly they take the necessary action of steps to solve the problems. When doubt gets rise, or you inquire for something, then the problem gets solved after communicating. Okay, when conflict gets rise, or disputes arises, the best way to communicate with the both parties. Okay, this is the step to solve the problems. Then making decisions. Making uh, timely decisions requires updated information. Through effective communication, managers can collect information from different corners and can make the right decisions. So making decisions and convey your messages, like decisions can be changing project strategy, or changing any plan. So it should require to communicate with others, because your other team players are involved in this process. Then another one is improving industrial relations. Industrial relation is the relation between workers and management. In the workplace, good industrial relation is always desired for business success. Communication plays a vital role in creating and maintaining good industrial relation. So, by communicating with um, external parties like our buyers or suppliers, we can improve our relations, our organizational and their business relations, that is industrial relation, and communication will helpful for it. Then another one is publicity of goods and services. In the modern age, businesses is becoming highly competitive. Almost very competing manufacturer produces product of common consumption. However, all of them cannot sell equally well. The organization that can communicate better can also sell better. So that is advertising, that is marketing strategy. Advertising and marketing, that is the best example of communication to reaching towards your customers or consumers. Then removing controversies. Effective communication allows smooth flow of information among various parties involved in the negotiation or transaction. As a result, conflict, controversies, and disagreements can be resolved easily. As we have seen in solving problems, So this is precautionary measures to communicate timely and remove controversies or avoid conflicts. Then enhancing employee satisfaction. If there is free and fair flow of information in the organization, it will certainly bring mutual understanding between management and workers. Such understanding enhances the satisfaction of employees. So employees get satisfied when they resolve their problems, they can raise their queries and doubts, and organization will respond them and solve their doubts. Then the plans and policies are properly fixed or arranged. So that is employee satisfaction. And communication build a good uh, business environment within the organization. Then enhancing loyalty. Effective communication helps the managers to be aware that performance of their subordinates. In such a situation, the subordinates try to show their good performance. Later on, if management praises their performance, it will enhance employees' loyalty. When employee gets praise or they get increment or awards, rewards, that is for their efficiency of work and loyalty towards the organization, and it will get increased due to uh, organization try to motivate them. Then next point is importance of communication in the corporate and global world. First one is manage the complexity of business organization. As already mentioned, with increase of size and scales of operation, present day business organization has to employ thousands of employees scattered all over, which demand efficient management that demand free and flawless. So when corporate or a business uh, uh, fixes the policies and plans of their organization, then complexity about business organization and their business activities gets reduced or deleted. So it should be required to plan, uh, preparing plan and policies and execute them, and also convey to their employees. Then information technology revolution. Since the last 3 decades, there has been a revolutionary change in the IT department with the access of computers, internet, iPod, video conferencing, which require proper maintenance and accurate data cutting across the geographical boundaries. The organization now pass on the message with great speed and care, that seek efficient communication. So in the uh, uh, IT revolution, or in um, now we are using the um, uh, information technology, like we are also taking a online lecture, so it should be properly updated version of applications that we are going to use. Then um, your data must be appropriated, like we are sharing uh, uh, our notes or books screen to understand you the um, what point and what for what point we are discussing, and you can raise your doubts. Then another point is you can make notes for yourself, as I have told you in our first lecture. Make your own notes and make it habit. Okay, then next, growing specialization. with the division of labor work is now divided into parts among the specialists for accuracy with the proper coordination, trust, cooperation, and understanding that demand efficient communication among all. So, uh, coordinating the trust or building a trust, then cooperation, understanding level, this will get increased because of the communication. You can consider your example. Your coordination and trust builds with your friends, and how it builds because you share everything with them. Okay, then another point is global village. The world is now a global village with MNCs spread all over the employees from different nations with different languages, culture. Communication is essential to bridge the gaps and work to achieve the company mission and vision. So we can consider MNCs that work all over the world with different languages and cultures. So when Indian people work for UK based organization, they communicate them with in their languages, and UK based organization communicate messages in perspective and culture with Indian language and culture to be considered it. Okay, we have seen the example regarding advertising too. So in some countries sign meanings are different, then world meanings are different, so it should be considered while advertising or spreading the message. Then growing competition among the different organization is well known factor to create new customers, maintain old one. Effective communication is very much important for the goodwill of the company. So in growing competition, advertising marketing is uh, very much essential, and it done with the help of the communication. Then trade unions management has to maintain healthy and congenial environment for smooth processing of work, influence the leaders to make their different short with seek efficient communication. The management and workers trade union have to be communicate properly to avoid their crisis between management and unions. Then impact of technological advancement of communication. So there are advantages and disadvantages. Let's see advantages. Speed, time, money can be saved because it's much quicker to move information around. Then cost, it feels free to send an email. It's certainly cheaper than phone calls. Video conferencing saves money on flights and accommodation. Then online communication brings families, friends together across distances. Education, it's uh, accessible and there is a lot of free information. Then community, it can reduce isolation and provide support system for employees who need it. Then it's available 24 by 7. People can do shopping, banking, chat at any time they like. Then what are the disadvantages of communication? Reliance of on technology. People don't bother learning to spell because they use spell checker. Okay, you can consider when you write uh, the papers, then your spelling mistakes or shortcuts are increasing because when you chat on your phones, you use spell checker or use shortcuts. Then loss of face to face many may mean loss of some communication skills and loss of the personal touch because we have five senses. The touch sensation is gets eliminated due to loss of face-to-face communication system. There are risk attached to the unknown and hidden element on the internet, that can be hackers. Then reliability of information, everyone posting, so just because something's on the web doesn't mean it's reliable. We get many fake messages, or uh, un, um, uh, we get many forwarded messages that are not checked properly whether it is correct or wrong. Then viruses, fraud, and identity theft are all risk for people using the internet. We all know about this. There are cost associated with maintaining equipment and keeping equipment up with contemporary software like internet, then mobile recharge, uh, your accessories like headphones and all. Then addiction, some people get addicted to web and games. Then health issues related to less sun, exercise, etc., and tendency to eat more. Then another one is interruptions, because people don't tend to turn off technology. They don't focus or concentrate for uh, uninterrupted period as much. There is a trend towards multitasking that can have benefits but also impacts productivity. There are potential risks related to cancer, fertility associated with regular exposure to mobile phones, etc. So we have completed our first topic. If you have any doubts, then please ask.